And welcome to today's breakdown on Bitcoin USD on the 1 hour chart. Now, please stay with me for this whole video and I can tell you why within 2 words. 9%, right? 9%, that's the reason, because that's what I made last week, giving you guys a breakdown and advice on here. You can go back to the previous episodes and you can literally see from last Monday where I called this one. I think it was Wednesday I called this one. Friday I called this one. So every second day I made about 3% in the markets, right? So I'm going to go in a little bit of a recap here to show you how I did it, but that's why you need to stay here and watch the entirety of this video, because it has the ability to actually make you 9%. So what I'm actually going to do instead of a bit of a breakdown, and I'll go over why very shortly, I don't think there's going to be any opportunities to hop into the market, at least not for today, and probably not for tomorrow. I want to tell you how I actually get into my entries and where I'm going to place my exits, because that's going to really help you guys make a lot of smart moves within the market. However, let's quickly go for this breakdown here. So this was last week, so this was Friday, I believe. If we go to the 2nd of September, yep, Friday, when we did my last breakdown, what did I say? Well, what we can see is the arrow's still here from our last video. We still think it's going to go all the way down here. I said it's probably going to come up, hit this line, and then we're going to see it fall. What did it do? Came up, hit this line, slightly broke through, indecision in the market, boom. Massive fall to the downside. Big push. So again, 3%, 6%, 9%. However, realistically, if we look at it, you had the ability to make, I'd say, tops 12%, if you were obviously doing your strategy correctly. Because what we're going to do is every time we hop into a trade, guys, I only ever want you to risk 1%. Just one. And I'll show you why here. So when I say I think it's going to come up to this line, for example, maybe break through, and then it's going to go on its way and fall. Here's what I'd do. I would place a limit order. So we know from what my breakdown was that I said it's going to go for a short. I'd place the limit and say I want to hop into the market here. Where would I place my stop loss? At the last previous high. So that's where this one would go. And then I would target, because I always target, a 1 to 3. Because we can see here that our stop loss equals 3 of our take profits. That's why it says 3 right here. And if we did the exact same thing over here, where I said it's going to come up again, where would I put my stop loss? Now, unfortunately, this one's going to be a little bit higher. But, again, I'm going to aim for that 3. We make it. Again. So, that one's not too good. And unfortunately, because we've got nothing behind us to actually say where I want to put my stop loss, this is kind of where you have to really know the market. I would have actually put mine a little bit higher and put it just underneath all these order blocks where all these wicks are falling down. That's what I'd be using, because instead of the market falling down this entire time, what we actually have is an area of consolidation. So that's where I'm going to put it. Again, unfortunately on this one, we wouldn't make that 3%. That's if you are actually playing really smart and safe. You would make the 2.36. How did I actually make the 3? Well, luckily enough, I waited for this second retest here, and then I hopped in, and I placed my stop loss roughly just up here, and I went for that 1 to 3, and I made it. So what you can do is exactly what I was saying here. Wait and see if there's going to be a secondary retest. We saw 1, 2, 3 candlesticks around here, 4 candlesticks in the exact same direction. The more candlesticks that are hitting basically the exact same area, much like over here, the more chance the market's going to fall. It's the exact same up here as well. So I waited to see if it was going to swipe liquidity. I hopped into the market and I actually put it somewhere, I think roughly it was somewhere around here, and then I went for that 1 to 3. And hit it. So that's how I want you to actually put your stop losses in, and that's where I want your entries to be as well. And we're always targeting that 1 to 3. Why? Because that affords us that if we lose the next 3 trades, that we break even. I made 9% last week. I can now lose 9 in a row and basically hit break even. which is going to be fantastic for me. But anyway, that's enough for what's going on, where you put your entry and exits. What do I see in the coming week? Well, unfortunately, I actually think it's going to be really hard to get into a trade. I think it's going to actually bounce around. Why? We see this last pivot line that we've been respecting. If you don't know why I've drawn this line out, please go back, watch the other videos. I don't have time to explain it today. No, that sounds quite rude, guys, but please go back and watch it. So obviously it's still being respected. Why? Because I can literally draw this out and you can see that it's still bouncing off it. So that line, for whatever reason, is still being respected, and we have another pivot line just underneath it. Obviously, there's a lot of support in this market, but what do we see here? Give me one moment. Another pivot line. The difference being the pivot line has dropped from all the way up here to all the way down here. What does that mean? This is all the room that we had to play in before. Right? Now look at the room that we have to play in. Basically half the size, right? So the market is actually getting tighter and tighter and tighter. It is funneling into a bottleneck, which means two things. One, that a move is about to occur, or two, we are going to enter a long consolidation period. Do I think that is going to happen? No, I do not. In fact, I actually think that at some point it is going to break above here. We might even find resistance and push off, or secondarily, we come up here, we break through, and then, oh, apologies guys, as I've said this entire time, we are going to continue to go all the way down to this bottom one here. That's where I think we're still heading. Quite clearly, we've been falling for quite some time, so it seems like the most logical course for us. I don't think we are going to go up here. There's no reason to. Obviously, we've been having lower highs this whole time, maybe a double high here. We have a little bit of imbalance around this section, which would be the only reason we would come up here. Maybe clear out, and this is what I think is the most likely one, clear out a little bit of the imbalance, take a bit of liquidity, shoot it up. Everyone thinks, okay, we've got a lot of support, but remember what I said in the last video? Order blocks for buys, order blocks for buys, order blocks for buys, order blocks for buys. There's a lot of liquidity down here as well. The market is setting itself up for a massive explosive move. I reckon it's going to come up, it's going to con everyone, it's going to take out liquidity, and it's going to fall down. Do I think it's going to happen within the next day, next 24 hours? No, I don't. I don't even reckon it's going to start moving properly till Wednesday. So guys, do not hop in without doing your proper analysis. Do not worry. Everything's going to be fine. We just made 9% last week. Let's try and have a really solid week, but let's not hop in and rush it. It's a Monday. We have time to wait. Anyway, guys, that is it for this breakdown here. I hope you really liked it. Let's continue our winning streak and let's smash it. I will be back tomorrow, same time. Have a great day, guys, and I will speak to you later. Bye.